All right, we should be live here for a quick live stream. This is an urgent live stream due to a PDS severe thunderstorm warning moving into the city of Corpus Christi in Texas. We have 80 to 90 mile per hour winds being observed with this storm. Radar indicates potentially damaging winds upwards of 100 miles per hour approaching the city. So let me just get some tabs up real quick. It looks like this storm also may be capable of producing a spin-up tornado as well as it moves into the city. So make sure you're in your safe spot if you are in this PDS severe thunderstorm warning. We had 90-mile-an-hour winds reported just about 10 minutes ago. I wasn't for sure if I was going to end up streaming this, but it is starting to head into the city now, so I do want to at least get a quick stream in to cover this storm as it heads into the city of Corpus Christi in Texas, so make sure you are in your safe spot there. Let's see, I need to just fix a few things. There we go. Welcome Anna, Jessica, Miller, Ponderosa, Chip, Velocity. Glad to see you guys all in here. Apologies for the last second live stream, but we do have a PDS severe, so I wanted to go live for it. Just for a little bit here, I just finished up with my storm chase in Charlotte. Went all the way down to Charlotte, so I'm exhausted, but this storm is not something that we've seen here in southern Texas in a little while. 90-mile-an-hour winds. You guys frequently get very large hail. It's very frequently you guys get PDS severes for like 3-4 inch hail, but 90-mile-per-hour severe storm heading into Corpus Christi. Not something you see very often by any means. Like I said, this actually might have up to 100-mile-an-hour winds and could even have the potential to produce a spin-up tornado as it goes into Corpus Christi. You can see these little mesovortices here, little mesovortexes, I should say, that are trying to form. Let's see here. Actually, that one might be on the ground. Let me check ZDR. About spectrum width. Nah, I don't think so. But definitely little mesocyclones. That's what I was trying to say. Sorry, long day. Like I said, I had like 3 different words I said incorrectly there. Mesocyclones is what I was looking for. Some mesocyclones trying to spin up here just to the southwest of the city. And these winds here, these are 90 to 100-mile-an-hour wind gusts approaching the southwest side of Corpus Christi, Texas. Ben, it came out of thin air. I just decided to hit the go live button out of nowhere. I just turned my computer on and decided to go live for this storm. I mean, it's producing 90-mile-per-hour winds. That's not something we see often here. It's not something you see often anywhere in the U.S. But this storm's been extremely unique as well. Just the evolution of it has been very, from a meteorological standpoint, actually fascinating. Just how it evolved over the last few scans here, how rapidly it bowed out too. You can see a huge surge in significant damaging winds here as it just kind of slingshotted across southeast Texas. So a very unique situation with this storm here. Maybe a MCV, mesoconvecutive vortex associated with it. That's something that could have helped slingshot it if we had a mesovortex up here rotating like this, and the westerly winds could have gotten so strong that it actually has started to slingshot it like that, which that kind of makes sense. I mean, you can see this is where it's been bowing out. You can see it southeast, southeast, east, and now it's actually starting to turn northeast. So if that is the case, it's going to go directly through the city, if that is the case. And like I said, could have a spin-up tornado out of these little regions of rotation. We'll go back to GR2 since that's updating the fastest here. It's going to be nearly impossible to confirm if there's any good area of rotation on it since it's very close to our radar site. It's almost over our radar site at this point. Yep, it's 11 p.m. Legacy. Pretty late for a live stream. Like I said, I just turned my computer on and hit live, so I didn't even get a thumbnail or anything ready. Yeah, this is in a 15% wind risk too. They upgraded this area to a slight risk quite last second. 11 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. local time here in South Central Texas. It's 10 p.m. local. 11 for me. Yeah, so these dark blue velocities here, these are 90 to 100 mile an hour pixels right here. Not something you see often at all. Not something you see often at all. So 90 mile per hour winds about to move into the metro of Corpus Christi in Texas. So make sure you're in your safe spot. Also, it's worth noting this is actually a EDS. EDSs are really, they could be issued for a lot of things. It's not technically a step up from a PDS. We've seen an EDS with a normal severe or a 70 mile per hour severe. It depends on the location. From what I understand, an EDS is normally reserved for higher end population or a very prone area to severe weather. Like, for instance, we've seen 60 mile an hour winds going into a trailer park. Sometimes that warrants a EDS. If you don't know what that is this right here, an extremely dangerous situation. Very often you'll see these with PDS severes too. So typically you don't hear about them very often because they're not as well known as PDS severes. So this is a PDS and an EDS. It is a particularly dangerous situation and an extremely dangerous situation. You can see with tornadic-like wind speeds that are expected. Like I said, we're also going to keep an eye on the potential for a tornado out of this too. So even if we don't get a tornado, this is still 90 mile per hour winds that are about to head directly into the city of Corpus Christi. We should see this start to take a northern turn here. I think it will start to turn a little bit more northward like this. I say that because that's what it's been trying to do. You can see if we follow it. It was also, look how widespread it was back here. I just want to go to an older scan to show you guys this. This was before we went live. This was widespread 80 to 90 mile per hour winds over the Driscoll area, southeast Texas. So that's when it was first observed at 90 right there. Now the newest scan, you can see it's getting a little bit, quite a lot more confined to this area. Still producing 80 to up to 90 mile per hour winds. So very dangerous situation here for Corpus Christi. You guys aren't in a PDS severe just yet. You're not even in a severe storm at the moment. But you can see those tornadic-like wind speeds right here in the light blue and dark blue. It looks like they are weakening a bit. That might just simply be because they're closer to the radar site. So now that they're very close to the radar site, these winds are nearly at the surface. So we're expecting these winds to be hitting the surface at least 70 miles per hour. You can see they have opted with a 90 mile per hour severe thunderstorm warning now for the city of Corpus Christi, Texas. So the whole city of Corpus Christi here, the downtown area, all inside a extremely dangerous situation, severe thunderstorm warning. They have changed that back down to radar indicated 90 mile an hour winds since the last report was about like 20 minutes ago. But that is an extremely dangerous situation for Corpus Christi, Texas now. Take a look at the population there. Yeah, almost 300,000 people now inside of that EDS severe thunderstorm warning. Let me change the threat level. My bad. It is a level 2 out of 5 today. Level 2. I'm surprised I even had time to change the date. I really am. Let me see. See if I can get a faster radar scan on this site. So this goes for an hour, I believe. Oh, nope. 48 minutes, almost an hour. 48 minutes on that destructive severe storm for Corpus Christi in Texas. Just to zoom out a little bit, let's go to this. So that orange polygon is where it is a PDS severe thunderstorm warning, as well as EDS. Again, they pretty much just get to your safe spot. That's what it really means. Just get to your safe spot if you're in the warning. Make sure you're in your safe spot because it's going to be a very intense thunderstorm, especially for downtown Corpus Christi. We'll have to see exactly where this pocket of significant damaging winds goes to. But I mean, it's going to be pretty difficult for it to avoid Corpus Christi. It really doesn't matter where it goes because Corpus Christi is a very large city. And you got this pocket of 90 to 100 mile per hour winds heading right into the city. So even if it books it like to a sharp north turn, it's still going to go right into the city. Hopefully that is true, and this is weakened to like 40 mile per hour winds, but I do want you to know that this is close to the radar site, so what it actually may be doing is the radar site is so close now, the storm is so close to the radar site, that it's actually scanning this storm incorrectly, basically like corruption, so we'll see if that is the case. We'll know once this starts leaving the radar site over the next 5-10 minutes. We'll start to know if this storm is going to be actually continuing to produce those 90 mile an hour winds, or if maybe it is significantly less than that. Once again, this also could easily produce a spin-up tornado. They don't have a Tor possible severe on it, but it could spin up a tornado really at any point in its lifespan. Even if it doesn't, it's still producing up to 90 mile an hour winds. It has shown multiple areas of strong rotation before, actually. One instance is on this scan. We had about a 90 mile an hour couplet up here, and then about a 50, 60 mile an hour couplet down here. But they're so brief, they're so quick in areas of rotation that the NWS just hasn't warned them yet. They're not long-lasting areas of rotation. Gotta love Radar Omega, and it's 8-minute old scans here. Very, very old scans. So we'll just stay with GR2 for now. So if you're in Corpus Christi, Texas, you're under a PDS severe thunderstorm warning. If you're on the extreme northern side, you may not be in this PDS severe. But most of Corpus Christi is in this PDS severe thunderstorm warning. So make sure you are in your safe spot. This is now the only severe storm in the entire U.S. It is the only severe in the entire U.S. right now. Both of those for this one storm. Nothing back out here where we chase. Look at this. Oh, looks terrible. But yeah, out of this chase, we actually, me and Lucky did see a wall cloud. We saw a wall cloud attempting to drop a tornado earlier today from drone footage. Lucky's drone was able to capture that. I believe it was somewhere in here. We stopped somewhere around this area, and we saw a wall cloud to its northwest. So, almost got a tornado. Almost had a tornado. It got pretty close. I couldn't tell if it had a funnel, but it was very difficult to tell. Definitely had a huge wall cloud. But yeah, if you're anywhere out here in the Carolinas, it's just remnant, small hail remnant, isolated damaging winds. Nothing like what we were dealing with earlier this morning. Specifically earlier this afternoon, I should say. I'm sure we have cameras here. Let's see. Been streaming would have been almost impossible. I would have been disconnecting like literally every 5 minutes. Me and Lucky were barely even getting radar scans. That's how bad it was out there. Okay, we have traffic cams, but they are just that, traffic cams. They're not like live traffic cams. They're still images. So, not the best. I could look up, let's see. Corpus Christi. I know for sure I won't be able to show this camera, but at least I'll be able to see if it's windy. It's windy. It's very, very windy. A lot of lightning with this storm, too. Yeah, look at all these lightning strikes back here. So a lot of lightning with this storm, too. "20 minutes ago, yeah, these traffic cams are horrific. So don't pay too close attention to velocities. It is over the radar sight, so velocities are going to look significantly weaker than they probably are. It's going to be very difficult to see just how strong these winds are without a good radar sight. So Corpus Christi, Texas, still in a PDS severe for 90-mile-an-hour winds. I'll go show you here. So Corpus Christi, you can see the destructive tag on that, 90-mile-an-hour winds. It is a destructive storm. It's a PDS severe thunderstorm warning because it has greater than 80-mile-an-hour winds. And you can also see if we go down here, it's also a EDS severe due to the population and the high amount of wind speeds with this storm. So literally, if a pocket of 80 to 90-mile-an-hour winds starts to hit like mobile homes, for instance, that's going to be a extremely dangerous situation that could result in, unfortunately, fatalities. So if you are in Corpus Christi, you need to be seeking shelter. That's why they have it as a EDS tag, because it is very dangerous. So also another thing is, because it is greater than 80-mile-an-hour winds, sirens should be sounding throughout the entire suburb area and metro regions of Corpus Christi. This whole area should have sirens ongoing. It's a very serious situation. Like if you are in a mobile home, hopefully the winds have weakened, because it is tornadic like wind speeds. It's practically like a land cane. It's like a hurricane making landfall. That's what the type of wind speeds we're dealing with this storm. Another way you could put it is like a very large tornado, because you've got 90-mile-an-hour winds. Again, there is no tornado. It is not, it's not producing a tornado that we know of. It is not producing a tornado right now. But the wind speeds that it's producing is that of a Category 1 hurricane and or a tornado. So tornadic-like wind speeds and hurricane force wind speeds are expected with this storm. Just to try to put it in urgency, because it's a very urgent situation. You can see here this storm has the potential to cause serious injury and significant property damage. So extremely dangerous situation there. You are in a life-threatening situation. Mobile homes will be heavily damaged or destroyed. Again, I want to emphasize on that, because this storm is extremely dangerous. Those wind speeds, 90-mile-an-hour winds. It's literally tornadic-like wind speeds. I have no clue how strong the winds are anymore, because we're still over the radar sight. We'll see if it looks stronger over the next 5 minutes or so. If it is stronger and if it is still producing 90-mile-an-hour winds, we will know over the course of the next 5 to 10 minutes as it moves away from the radar site. Let's see here. I wish I could show cameras, but there's no really, really good cameras here. Watching a sky cam right now. But I can't show that. A new severe storm for 60-mile-an-hour winds along the coastal area south of Corpus Christi. So you can see a gust front has formed right here. This may be some precipitation. No, it is not. It is not precipitation. So if we go to CC, see how all this is dark blue? We go to reflectivity. That means that this is not rain. Whereas back here, see how this is all lower value? That's CC correlating to all light to moderate rain. So this is a gust front right here. This is literally just simply no rain with 60-mile-an-hour winds right along this gust front. And then behind it, you actually could get two batches. You can see here, there's another batch back here of potentially 60-mile-an-hour winds. So you could get literally two, pretty much like two storms. One isn't going to have rain. This is a gust front. It won't have rain, so it's going to just come out of nowhere and hit you with 60-mile-an-hour winds. And then after that, about 5 minutes later, you'll be hit with potentially another quick gust of up to 60-mile-an-hour winds. And that's well south of Corpus Christi for that 60-mile-an-hour severe for the next 36 minutes. Still can't tell what's happening over Corpus Christi. Hopefully this thing really, really weakened. If we go simply and completely off of radar, radar says it drastically weakened as it approached Corpus Christi. But, like I said, this went pretty much directly over the radar site, so it's difficult to say if that's actually what happened. When are things going to calm down? Tomorrow. Oh, you mean when things calm down. And today was not calm. Today was anything but calm. Today I had a lot of severe weather. We got 2 tornadoes. We had a tornado on the ground in southern Illinois that was highly and heavily rain-wrapped. And we had a land spout reported from a chaser in southeastern Georgia. Tomorrow will be significantly more inactive than today. Significantly more inactive. I do think we could see a couple... We could see a supercell or two tomorrow. You know, a good storm trying to rotate and drop some small hail, gusty winds in eastern NC, but it's definitely not enough for me to chase. So we're calming down a little bit. We should be on the calmer side of things all the way until, like, geez, I forgot when. Like, what? I'll just go look. I'll look. So today's Thursday. Yeah, all the way till, like, maybe Wednesday is the first good sign of significant severe weather being possible. We could have a low-end tornado threat in the Carolinas and in Georgia on Monday into Tuesday. So still watching this extremely dangerous severe thunderstorm going over Corpus Christi right now. Let me go back here really quick. Okay. Yeah, so make sure you are in your safe spot if you're in Corpus Christi, Texas. See if that radar scan has anything. I mean, it looks significantly weaker. But you can also see from radar just simply on reflectivity, you can see how much this is bowed out. So it's definitely producing at least widespread 60-mile-an-hour winds all the way from Corpus Christi all the way back down to its south-southeast. And then up to 90-mile-per-hour winds, according to the warning, going into Corpus Christi. Oops, didn't mean to press that. I'm not seeing an uptick in velocities. Those 90-mile-per-hour winds that we did see, they would be right in here right now. Like right in here. Let's see if I can get MEDAR. Nope, I don't see any weather stations here. What about this one? Okay, there you go. Yeah, 37-mile-an-hour wind gust over the radar site. So, looks like maybe it weakened significantly as it went into Corpus Christi. I mean, some of those velocities exceeded 100 miles per hour. Like, that's literally 100-mile-per-hour winds right there from moments ago, and your radar site's that close. So, we definitely had gusts of 90 to 100-mile-an-hour winds as this entered Corpus Christi. We could check from MRMS real quick. It's too low resolution. Way too low. They still got it warned for 90-mile-an-hour winds for the next 30 minutes. I think Corpus Christi might have just got extremely lucky. We'll see. Skycam barely has any winds there anymore. Just very, very frequent lightning. Very frequent lightning. Wow. Yeah, I'm just surprised with those velocities we saw earlier. Another severe thunderstorm warning just got issued. That might be... All right, back down to 70. There you go. Back down to 70-mile-per-hour severe. So they just dropped that. I think Corpus Christi just got extremely lucky. $70-mile-an-hour winds is still considered significant damaging wind gusts, but it is no longer potentially deadly wind gusts. But thankfully, this is going to be moving offshore here shortly. The southern end is going to move off in 10 minutes. And the northern side, it might be a little bit longer. I can tell you one thing for certain. Right after this stream's done, I am passing out. I am exhausted. I am ready to go to sleep, man. We got a very active weather pattern ahead of us, so I think tomorrow's good enough to where I'll take a day off. I know, was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday I made a video saying today would be a day off. Well, here we are. I chased in, now I'm live. So I think I'll take my day off tomorrow, because tomorrow looks a lot less significant than today. I don't think we're going to be getting no 90-mile-an-hour severe tomorrow anywhere. Also, if you guys do want to go see the wall cloud me and Lucky got, you can do so on Twitter. You could click the link in the chat. That will bring you to my Twitter. I don't want to give you the direct link to the tweet because I don't know. I don't want to say anything about that. There's something in the background. But if you want to click that, you can go to my Twitter, and then you could go 2 tweets. No, yeah. 2 tweets down. You see the big wall cloud we got. Said possible wall cloud, but don't look so possible. Me and Lucky, we got a time lapse of it after that photo, and it was definitely a wall cloud. Can't sleep with all this thunder. Yep, that's a big issue, especially in Texas right now. Southern Texas. All this is just full of thunder and lightning. Not only that either, if you're up here in the East Coast too, all of these storms are very electric, even going towards Raleigh. Actually, away from Raleigh now. You know what? You know what's crazy? That might actually be associated with the storm me and Lucky intercepted a long time ago. That was 8/12. That's when we were heading home. I want to see where this came from. Special weather statement over Raleigh right now. I mean, it came from the whole cluster. This is the storm that had a reported funnel on it. Me and Lucky were too far east from this, so we couldn't get to it in time. And then the one we saw a funnel on, I think, was this one. No, that's too far. That's way too far north. Yeah, I think it was actually this one down here. Should have stayed home, Misty. My house was under a severe, and then if I chased it from just staying at home, I could have gotten another wall cloud. There was most likely a wall cloud in Eden, right here to my south. So instead of going all the way down here to see a wall cloud wherever we did up here, and then all the way down to Charlotte, and then all the way back up. I don't know why I started so far north. I do not live in Rocky Mount. I live in Martinsville. So instead of going all the way south like that, there you go. I started in Rocky Mount. That's how it has been. If I stay home, nothing happens. If I leave, my house is under a severe. It has happened the last 4 chases. The last 4 chases. This chase, I was under a severe, nearly tore possible. The last chase, I was under a considerable severe for like 70-mile-an-hour winds, I think. Chase before that, my house was under a tornado warning. And in the chase before that, I'm pretty sure it was another tornado warning. So it's whenever I chase, my house gets something crazy. And when I do not chase, it's a complete bust for my house. Yeah, but this storm is still producing 70-mile-an-hour winds around the Corpus Christi area. Velocities are still measuring 60 to 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts there, and then widespread 50 to 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts here. I'm not going to fuss too much, though, Ben, because I still got to see a wall cloud today, so I'm still glad I chased it. And I got to see Lucky, so that's always a plus. That's going to keep going for the next few minutes here. Well, I'll stay live until this, till like the top of the hour or so. I have to text Lucky about the chase. Sorry, y'all. See you later, Velocity. Thanks for tuning in for a bit. Oh man, that's terrible legacy. I feel bad for you. I was there a PDS severe? I think there was a PDS severe. I can't remember where, but it was like around Clarksville for 2.75-inch hail. Today popped off. Today popped off. And then to top it all off, we got 90-mile-an-hour winds in Texas. So we had a tornado in Illinois, tornado in Georgia, multiple 2-inch hail events in western NC, which is pretty rare. Destructive severe in somewhere in like central, west central Tennessee. I can't remember exactly where. I just briefly saw it whilst I was parked at a gas station waiting for a storm in North Carolina. What else did we see? Ridiculous lightning. The light show. This was this chase today in North Carolina. It was the most electric storms I've chased so far this year. Out of the 5+ months we've been in 2025, it was the most electric storms I've seen. Probably, actually, you know what? Skip that. Probably since like July of last year. The bolts were insane. We saw so many sideways bolts too, and a lot of it was purple lightning too. I mean, it was just insane. The sad thing is I don't think I caught one bolt on camera. But I mean, it was a wild chase. But I'm ready for some discrete storms. Today's storms were discrete for a couple of minutes, but not much. Palmer. Oh, that's terrible. That's horrific. Starts to get your blood going because you're like, what? Tornado siren. Happened to me before too. The biggest thing is amber alerts for me. Because whenever I hear that EAS tone, I instantly think tornado warning because, you know, that's what I know him for the most. So it scares me half to death. Oops. Yeah, so still some like 50 to 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts heading into Corpus Christi. Just make sure you guys are away from doors and windows. You don't have to be in your safe spot anymore. When you're in a PDS severe, that's when you have to be. But you guys are no longer in that PDS severe warning. They've downgraded it back down to 70. But what a crazy quick storm, man. Potentially up to 100-mile-an-hour winds. We're just west of Corpus Christi. Thankfully, I believe they weakened right like as they got into Corpus Christi. And now this thing's gonna head off into the Gulf. Head off into the Gulf and become a hurricane. No, I'm just kidding. It's just gonna head off into the Gulf and die out. Although, not with this storm, but there will be a low pressure that forms in the Gulf later this week. That's going to give us our possible tornado threat here in the Carolinas and in Georgia on like Monday, Tuesday. But that should move quickly over land, so I don't think it's anything tropical. Shocker, the GFS no longer shows a Category 4 hurricane. It just, like, anything with the GFS more than 180 hours out on especially hurricane season, but really any season, don't take it very seriously. You got to look for consistencies as well as other model runs is big. That's why with Barrel last year in July, you know, we don't see Category 5s in July hardly at all, if ever. That might have been one of the first in recorded history, actually, for the Atlantic. So when it appeared on the model runs, everyone's like, yeah, right. And then slowly but surely, there it goes on one GFS, then the Canadian, then the Euro. Then all the ensembles light up. Then the NHC highlights a AOI. And then before you know it, was a Cat 5 hurricane in July. But with this little area we're watching towards the end of May, it's not going to do anything. It's not. It's just not. It's just not going to do anything. It's still a little signal. It's still a little bit of yellow in the Caribbean, but it's not going to do anything. It's late May. You really think late May is going to try to form a hurricane? Like, come on. Let's be serious here. So anything you see revolving around hurricane season in terms of a hurricane in late May, just shrug it off. Not going to happen. Nothing is going to happen in terms of hurricane season in late May. It doesn't hurt to watch your tropics now. You know, we are into May, so it doesn't hurt to watch them. You know, start getting in that habit, especially if you're on the coastlines often impacted by hurricanes. Get into that habit of checking the NHC, you know, every now and then. We got to get back into the swing of checking the NHC for AOIs. But yeah, shoot, that brings me back to my hurricane season forecast. Man, I don't know when I'm going to get that out. I don't even know how I'm going to do that. I'm going to have to go watch my hurricane season forecast from, last year. From last year, see how I do it. But just long story short, that way you guys don't have to wait for the whole video. We'll go in depth with it on the video, but it looks like it's going to be an average to below average season, in my opinion. I don't think we'll be anywhere near the last few hurricane seasons we've seen. I think it's going to be a hurricane season where we have that one very memorable hurricane and then a lot of other fish storms. And then some lower end hurricanes that may hit the U.S. I think the Carolinas are going to take a good direct hit from another hurricane eventually this year. They're at pretty high risk this year, compared to last year especially. And then of course the Gulf states always at risk. So we'll see what hurricane season looks like in like August. That's when we really start to get a really good idea of how above average or whatever it may be. All right, yep, no longer destructive, so let's switch back down to here. No longer any PDS severes. New GFS coming in here, 00Z. I'm gonna be up for it, but I won't be live for the whole thing. You know what I'm shocked about? I'm shocked the National Weather Service / Storm Prediction Center didn't issue a day 7 outlook. They kept it at predictability too low. Can I have a time frame, please? They don't say what day this discussion's for. Trends and guidance will continue to be monitored. Capping is a big concern. So that may be one of the reasons why they didn't highlight it, is the potential for a cap. That's what we were expecting this year. It is. I think I mentioned that in my tornado season forecast for May. Because of the because of the drier and the drought in the Four Corners area, that can translate to a stronger EML in the central and southern plains, and thus resulting in a lot more opportunities for a cap bust. What are we at here with the CPC? Um, yeah, the drought's just as bad as we expected. There's the drought monitor. And that can contribute to a stronger EML, especially when your drought persists like that. Sometimes it can contribute to a stronger EML once the jet streams, because jet streams traverse like this, and then whenever they're like negatively tilted, say like this over the central US, they pick up that EML on the southwest quadrant and they fling it on up into the east portion of the trough, and that results in a capping. And with drier conditions in the west like this, that capping can be too strong for even daylight heating to help overcome that cap. All right, Corpus Christi, you're now severe warning list. So y'all went from 90-mile-per-hour severe about 15 minutes ago to absolutely nothing now. Biggest thing is just don't go outside. Okay, if you're in Corpus Christi, just don't go outside. You'll be good. There's a lot of lightning with this storm. There's very heavy rain, maybe some small hail, maybe some gusty winds up to like 20 now. Just don't go outside. You'll be perfectly fine. Hello, Brody. But yeah, I appreciate all you guys tuning in here. We're gonna be getting close to wrapping this up because this is just an urgent stream real quick. But if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I won't be live tomorrow, but I will likely be live at Saturday. We'll probably end up doing a live stream Saturday. And what about after that? Yeah, Saturday. Saturday will be our next live stream. I can't say much about the next day. But just know live streams are going to become even more frequent now. Yeah, Thursday looks like a big day. They didn't introduce a risk due to capping concern. But I think they will eventually introduce a 15%. Honestly, even with capping concern, I'm pretty surprised they didn't introduce a risk. I mean, because it still looks like it's going to be pretty severe to me. A pretty good severe threat. We'll know more as we get closer. The closer we get, the more information we have, but still watching Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So, next week for the potential of severe weather. Keeping an eye on like 7-8 days for the risk of severe weather next week. I mean, shoot, the entire GFS run, there's no break from severe weather, ever. Tomorrow is probably going to be one of our most inactive days of May. Tomorrow may be as inactive as it gets in the form of severe weather for May. Either tomorrow, which is Friday, or Saturday. One or the other. Sunday, we'll have the risk return for probably all hazards in Alabama, Georgia, Western Florida. Monday, same goes for Georgia. Tuesday, maybe the Carolinas, maybe even Oklahoma, Texas as well. Wednesday, that's when our big threats could start to kick off. So tomorrow and Sunday will be the probably most inactive days of May. You know, I didn't even think about it, but My target area was spot on. So roughly my target area was right here. Like this was roughly the target area for today. And you know where we ended up? We ended up right in here. And a wall cloud was somewhere over in here. So my target was spot on. I did get outside the target area. So this is as far south as I expected to go. But we went all the way down to, I think we went to Huntersville. Yeah, nobody told me how bad Charlotte traffic is. Oh my goodness, I'm never going there again. Charlotte traffic? Oh, no. No. Stay away. Man. And it's the whole time too. Like we weren't even in rush hour. We were at 7 o'clock and we were at a standstill on the interstate. Oh my goodness. And then the heavy rain came in and everybody started going 20 miles per hour. At least nobody parked under the overpasses this time. So at least there was that. At least people didn't park under the overpasses like they did east of Raleigh 2 days ago. Also, can we acknowledge how crazy today's uptrend was? Like literally yesterday morning, we had a small marginal risk across Tennessee and Western North Carolina. And then it just, the next update, big slight risk. This morning, a bigger slight risk. Then in the afternoon at 4 p.m., they expanded the slight risk in all directions. I mean, just the uptrends with today's event were crazy too. Very well forecasted from the SPC. Very, very well forecasted. They did a great job with the outlooks today. Let me see. I need to do 200 frames, 12 hours each. Yeah, literally, it was a marginal risk across parts of Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, into Western North Carolina and Central Virginia. Then they added the slight risk over the Appalachians. And in the morning update, that slight risk was just ginormous. It expanded in all directions. They had some kicking changes to the slight risk today. Look, this was the morning outlook from the SPC. I see you later, Brody. Thank you for tuning in. So that was the morning outlook from the SPC. And then this was the afternoon update. You can say they expanded it west, east, southeast, added a new slight risk down here, extended this slight risk. And then the 4 o'clock update. Oh, no. This is the noon update here. You can see they big time, like literally it almost doubled in size, big time updated. And that was a huge update. Oh, I got my updates mixed up. My bad. So the 9 a.m. one, that's what this one was. And it was the noon update at 12:30 p.m. Eastern that they expanded it big time. At 4 p.m. they had barely any changes. And look at that. I mean, literally everything exploded as expected. Looks like Georgia might have had a... like central northern Georgia might have had a little underperformance here. They didn't get much, but... Alright, I'm going to head off here in just a bit. I appreciate you guys tuning in. This storm is now severe warning list over Corpus Christi. There is a new Boeing segment here that is developed that's going to head south, but I don't think it will be as significant. Could still produce winds up to 70 miles per hour, but there's no big city in the way of this storm here, so We'll keep an eye on it still, but I am not going to go back live for it, even if it had like 100-mile-an-hour winds or something. If it somehow strengthens that much, I'm going to be asleep. So just stay weather aware, specifically if you are in this area in southern Texas. Make sure you're staying hyper weather aware, preferably at least staying indoors away from doors and windows as this big time line moves through. 60-mile-an-hour winds gust up to 70, potentially as high as 75 miles per hour. Can't be completely ruled out with that. The heck? Really good area of rotation out here in South Carolina. Coming out of nowhere right there. But, alright. I'm gonna head off. Hi, Hoop. Bye, Hoop. Literally starting to conclude right now. So, yeah, I appreciate you guys tuning in. You know what? I'm not going to do an outro song because this was an urgent stream. So I'll just stay here for 3 more minutes and then we'll end abruptly. Since we didn't do an intro. Damage report there. Multiple power lines, transmission lines throughout the city of Driscoll. That is where we had potentially up to 100-mile-an-hour winds at. If we were to have 100-mile-an-hour winds, it would be right there. There's almost 7,000 people without power in that county. So main area to watch is definitely right here. That's where we're going to see 60 to 70-mile-an-hour wind gust. Anything higher than 70 is too difficult for me to predict. I can't tell. I can't tell. Based on how much it's bowing, I wouldn't be surprised if this produced 75-mile-an-hour winds at some point. So. Yep, sure did, Hoop. I think I know what you're talking about. Are you talking about the Supercell composite map? Perhaps? So we'll keep an eye on that area of rotation in South Carolina. Just a heads up there. If you are in like Leeds, Chester, Whitmire, South Carolina, area of rotation near you. This actually is capable of producing a tornado, most likely at any moment. To be honest with you, that is such a pretty strong area of rotation. I wouldn't be shocked if it tries to produce at any given moment. I mean, you could see that is a really good supercell. I've seen tornado warnings for significantly weaker rotation than that. Came together very, very quickly, too. Is that all bats? I think we got us a PDS bat warning over here. Yeah, we do. A lot of boundaries around here, too. Look at that. Gonna get some explosive thunderstorms around Greenville. You see these 2 boundaries? One right here. And one right here. This one's moving this way. This one's moving this way. So now they're literally clashing right over this area, over Spartanburg. Y'all are about to get a lot of thunderstorms, and they are about to develop very rapidly. I'm a little shocked this isn't tornado warned. But alright, we're going to go ahead and head off. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Leave a like on the live stream. Share the channel with your family, friends, social media. I appreciate everybody tuning into this urgent live stream. Thank you much for Mod Chat. Thank you everybody for being here. Helping me reach over 1,000 people with this very quick 1-hour live stream. I'll see you guys likely on a Saturday for a live weather briefing, likely at 6 p.m. Eastern time. Have a great rest of your Thursday night. It's now Friday morning, actually, here on the East Coast. And yeah, I'll see you guys likely on Saturday. This urgent live stream was warranted for a 90-mile-an-hour severe over the city of Corpus Christi, Texas, which we did have a wind gust of 89-mile-an-hour winds to the west of Corpus Christi. But hopefully Corpus Christi is all good. But yeah, that's going to be it. Stay safe, watch for your weather, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great rest of your night.